and sometimes I think it should act a certain way, but apparently it thinks it should act a little differently. So I'm trying a couple of different things today. So I'm very excited that you're joining me. This is Ruth Teresa. The name of my company is One Inspiring Woman. And I do get asked lots of questions about my name, One Inspiring Woman. And one of them, not too long ago, was quite funny. And someone said, "Oh, so you must be the only inspiring woman in the world." And I said, "No, I'm just one of many." And that's the way I consider myself. I'm one of many inspiring women. So many women in our world have done such amazing things in their field, whatever that is: athletics, comedy, arts and entertainment, politics. So there are so many inspiring women out there in the world, and I just happen to be one of many of them. And so today we're on. Good morning, Lexi. If you have any questions, make sure you post. I will have answer any question you have. But until then, I'll just keep talking. And as I was talking to someone the other day, it's one of those. I got the talking gene in my family. I can talk about anything at any time, anywhere. And the funny thing is, so do my kids. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer anything that you have, any question that you have. I always tell people, if you're brave enough to ask it, I'm brave enough to answer it. So whatever that is. September 10th starts a very powerful week for us. We have a couple of power days in this week also. One of them is, and I know we don't think about it in the United States as being a power day, but September 11th is a really power day. You've got the 11 number, you've got the 9, you've got so many other numbers, and then 2018 is 11 when you add that all up together. So it's one of those. It is going to be a very powerful day. Plus, we just had a new moon early this morning. I want to say it was like 4:34 this morning, something like that. That our moon went um, uh, completely new. So it's kind of like an absolute perfect time to start thinking about what do I want? What do I want to add to my life? What is the new that I want to add to my life? What is the absolute thing that I would like to step into before the full moon gets here or before the end of the year gets here? So what would you like to bring to your world? Sometimes that could be a new career, that could be new beginnings. For me, it's been a lot of new friendships coming into my world in the last couple of months, and which was kind of great because I kind of went through a season where I was kind of, other friends were not sticking around or not honoring who I was. And so as a person, not as a psychic or anything else, but as a person. And so I've had to let that go for quite a while. And now I'm kind of entering a phase of getting some new friends, and that's always great. So I love that part. So ask me your questions, anybody. I will just talk until then. I've got a couple of upcoming dates. I will be in Mesa, Arizona. I will be there the 4th through the 8th of October. And so I'm working with a couple of women out there to plan. I'm hoping this will be a little bit differently. I'm going to be doing a Psychic 101 class, which will be an all-day Saturday, all-day Sunday class. And then on top of that, I'll be doing some group readings and some private readings. So if you want to connect with me while I'm out in Phoenix, Arizona, the best way to do that is to Facebook me or to email me. And my email address is oneinspiringwoman@gmail.com, and that's a great way to contact me. Let me know that you're interested, or you can give me a call through my website, and we can find out some other information for you. I've also got some dates in Dallas, October 20th, and then a date in Austin, Texas, which is November 3rd. And I have some clients that are working on some stuff for me while I'm there. And if you want to work on some stuff for me for a place that you want me to go to, I'm always interested to travel. I love traveling, especially with my business and meeting new clients and meeting new people. At the same time, it's one of those, my hostess gets special gifts and special things that are offered to her that aren't offered to other people, or if they host me in their home for different events. So that's something that comes up. But understand that this is a very powerful month. A very powerful month. September always is, and then we're amplified by the 2018, and then we've got some other power days coming in there, and like I said, September 11th is one of them. So Ask me your questions. I've got some, like I said, I've got the dates on my website, and I'll be posting some stuff on Facebook later on today about my dates in Mesa, Arizona, Dallas, and in Austin, Texas. So, one of the things that has been kind of coming up on my mind, and it's kind of a funny client came to me and said something. I had 3 clients in a very short period of time that asked me almost the same thing. They were kind of like, my picker's broken, and I said, your picker's broken? What does that mean? And what they were telling me is that either their picker for their friends, their picker for their mates, good morning, Sarah. Good morning. There or things that are going on in their life, bad at picking jobs, bad at picking other things. So I can completely understand that. Yet at the same time, I would say it's really important for someone to understand is maybe your picker is bad for what you were doing. Your thinking today, what comes today is your thinking from yesterday and the day before and the day before that and last year and last month and all that kind of stuff. Your thinking tomorrow is your thinking today. It's one of those, you can easily change your thoughts. You can easily change what you're doing and get a different outcome. So if you get up and you go, oh my gosh, I'm really bad at picking boyfriends and every boyfriend I get is worse than the last, then that's kind of what you're asking for. You're asking for it to be worse than it was before. So the next boyfriend or the next girlfriend is going to be worse than the one that you have now or the one that you had last time or whatever it is. And that's going to start evolving and getting worse. And so it's one of those, you're actually asking for your picker to be wrong. Or if you say, well, all my friends abuse me or all my friends use me and they never honor who I am or whatever that is, that's one of the things that happens. And when it happens, instead of going, wow, I picked wrong that time, that one time, what you're saying is every time I'm picking wrong, every time I want to pick wrong and I want to get worse and worse and worse. And so telling yourself that, a mistake is a mistake, pick yourself up and move forward. And that's always a very powerful thing to do. And understand that it's important that you bring people into your world that honor you. And when they don't, make sure that you're willing to let them go. It's one of those, I've had friends, like I said earlier, I've had friends in my past that have not honored who I am as a person or just want to ask me a million questions and not, pay for any readings or whatever it is. And a lot of them were, just, I want you to be at my beck and call. And when I want to call you, I want you to be available at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm having an issue or something like that. And it's one of those, but if I had an issue, they were like, I'm busy or I'm with my family, I can't. And that's where it's not the balance. So if your friends and your family are not honoring who you are, make sure that you change that. Make sure that you make those changes now. And the people that don't honor me, I do push them out. It makes my life a little bit easier. It's one of those, I also have a lot of friends that do support me and do support my business. And that's not always saying that they're clients of mine. That doesn't mean that that's what I'm talking about. It's one of those, it's supporting who I am and understanding that I may see things differently than someone else, or I may feel differently about something different than someone else might. It's one of those, most of my family doesn't really understand the whole psychic thing, and that's okay. That's not their thing. They have their own lives and their own particulars that they do, but it's one of those, it's something very important to me. And so just honoring that, and I honor what's important to them and try to understand their lives as best I can. And try to be the best person I can to support them and what they're doing in their lives. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post those. One of the things I get, which is kind of an interesting phenomenon, is like I said, we were talking about the picker being broken, and that's kind of a funny saying on words, but it's one of those, how powerful are your words? I would say your words are more powerful than you could possibly imagine. And this happens so many times that I see people that for whatever reason, they'll say, oh, I'm not worthy, I'm not good, and it's kind of that thought in their head, but it comes out in their words as well. So it's one of those, what are you not honoring in yourself? What are you not honoring? Because if you don't honor it yourself, how can you allow other people to honor it in you as well? So it's one of those, that's one of those really, really important things, that you honor yourself as well as anybody else. Um, I get that a lot with a lot of different clients, or they say, I think I should have known differently. And it's one of those, maybe it's a lesson that you had before, but maybe it's one that you didn't get to this extent. Kind of maybe it was an elementary school level problem and you dealt with it then, but now it's coming back as a high school or a college or a life problem. And it's one of those, it's a little bit more in detailed or a little more in depth. So that's something to kind of be concerned about. I would also say, when you're having issues like that, one of the best things to do is to call in some archangels. Archangels can support us in a lot of different ways. And I often tell people an archangel is just one facet of our creator. Whatever you want to call your creator is up to you. If you want to call him God or Jesus or saying whatever word comes to mind for you. I call him my creator, just so you understand that's the terminology I use. But it's one of those, what are you calling in? What facet of him do you require? Because even as a person, and it's one of those, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I've got nieces and nephews, and I've got all the kinds. Okay, so Lexi posted, I've been recently being paying more attention to my dreams for messages my spirit guides have for me. Let's see. I'll be down. Okay. And spirit guides have. I've also had a past couple of weeks I haven't been sleeping at all, 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so Lexi, one of the things I would tell you about sleeping is most of my clients, and most of my clients will even tell you, like, one of the first things I put most people on is a salt tub regimen. Everything else, what a salt tub does, and it's a pink Himalayan sea salt, and what that does is it starts clearing out the energy from us, anything that we've been holding on to. It's kind of like just a way of deep cleansing, not just our body, but all the way down to our soul, all the way down to the stuff that we picked up as a child, or things that we brought in as past life. Any of those things, it's really important that we allow those things to be released. So a salt tub is really good for you. I also would say, probably just for you, and this isn't for anybody else, for you, Lexi, what I would do is I would do it in the next couple of nights, and I would do half a cup of pink Himalayan sea salt. I would do about a fourth of a cup of a Epsom salt in there, and I'm feeling like things, like you're really holding on to things or not letting things loose, and that Epsom salt is really going to help release the muscles, so the salt can get in there a little bit deeper. So the other thing is, you're also clairaudient. So as you start to drift off to sleep, your mind goes into overdrive with your clairsentient side, and then your clairaudient side comes in, and it really starts amping up with messages and that sort of thing. One of the things I've learned to kind of deal with my angels when they do that is I will literally just go, it's enough, guys. I've had enough. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. So that's one of the things. But also listening to music when you go to sleep, almost like a meditation. So it's one of those, I have several CDs that I will listen to in while I'm asleep or while I'm going to sleep, and it'll help kind of focus me in on what's going on. I would pick music that is, I prefer music that's piano or pan flute music. I really kind of like that. I also really enjoy just like nature scenes, or nature, no crickets, nothing too loud, but soft, like water or wind, something like that. So try a couple of different ones, and then also understand, don't overcompensate. If you're not sleeping at night, don't sleep during the day. Don't go, oh my gosh, well, I didn't sleep last night, or I only slept 2 hours last night. It's one of those, not all of us require the same amount of sleep. It's one of those, I would say probably for the last 25 years, I usually do not sleep more than 4 hours a night. 4 hours a night for me is like, amazing. But that happens very rarely for me. So it's one of those, doing the salt tub will help release a lot of stuff. And that night you will really just sleep really well. And then after that, I would probably do a salt tub probably every 3 weeks for you to kind of deep cleanse and kind of get rid of a lot of extra stuff that you've been carrying. I would also say going for and getting some music and you can download it to your phone. You can download it to different devices or whatever it is, or you could just play a CD. Sometimes even some of the TV channels have like music that they play at night, so you can find something that really resonates with you. But try many different things. I would say the same thing when I tell a client to do meditation or to try meditation, is try different things. And if it doesn't work, good. Now you found something that doesn't work. It's one of those, when I meditate, I cannot do drums. It kind of excites me and gets me going. If it's too, the beat is too fast, it overwhelms me at times. And so then I'm up, and that's not a good thing either. So it's one of those, finding things that don't work are just as important as finding things that do work. So great question, Lexi. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have anything else, let me know. Any of you other guys that are on there, if you have any questions, I would love to answer them for you. We've got about 5 minutes left. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So if you have any other questions for me, please post them now. It's one of those, I will do Facebook Live again next Monday. So if you have any other questions, you can always ask questions next Monday if you want to just think about what you've got going on. I kind of feel like a couple of y'all are thinking about, I don't know what to ask, or I don't know how I want to ask things. The other thing that's really important to know about me is through my Facebook, through my website at oneinspiringwoman.com, on the first page, all the way down, all the way at the very bottom, is a sign up for my newsletter. And one of the things I do in my newsletter is I gift usually between 2 and 4, and I would say most of the time that's between 3 and 4 free readings, so that anytime you want to, you can schedule an appointment with me. You have about that month to schedule something, and then we can do it for whatever month that works best for us. But it's one of those that helps me because I don't have to go back and re-look at everybody who's won over the last few times. So if you have any questions, please post them now. So, oh, someone says they can't see me. I don't know. I've also got this on a live stream to YouTube, and so that's going to be also on there. And what's this other one? It says it. Okay, so Lexi's going to be looking into her salt tub, so that is awesome. Jane, I'm not sure why you can't see me. I'm really upset about that because I would really love to be seen. It's one of those, I even have my makeup on this morning, a little lipstick and everything else, so I'm kind of dressed up this morning. Do you see me doing any computer work from home soon? Okay, and that's from Lisa. Do you see me doing any computer work? I do eventually, but I don't really see that coming up until like November time frame for you, Lisa. So I don't know what's holding you back during that time frame. If you're kind of thinking, well, I can't do this until I get this. It's one of those. So know that that's part of one of the things is that you need to keep up with what's coming out, and what's coming out. What I was talking about earlier is what are you coming out in your thoughts. It's one of those, are you always going, money comes to me, but it's always so late, everything else, because I feel like you really require this money, and I really feel like you require this job like now and really soon. Like this would be great for you to start that job, and it'd be a great benefit to you and your family. So it's one of those, why are you pushing that off until November? We're in the not even in the middle of September yet, and that's like a month and a half away. So why are you pushing that off for such a long distance? There are companies that are willing to have you work for them and hire you to do all different kinds of things. So make sure that you are looking into that, and so that makes it a little bit easier. It's one of those, if you have any other questions, we've got just a couple of minutes left. So if you have any questions, definitely post your questions to me, and I will read them as fast as I possibly can and see where we're going with that. So it's one of those. And then, like I said, I do have the dates coming up in Arizona. Let's see. Rico wants to know, do you see anything coming up for me? Rocio, sorry. Looked at that one wrong. Rocio. So I do see some things coming up for you, and a lot of change, especially in October timeframe. So I'm not sure why it's waiting until October, but I do feel like there are several things that are changing for you, and things that are going to be upgrading for you. So Rocio, really listen to me very carefully. What I was talking about today and upgrading your words and your thought are very important for you. think about what you want to bring into your world. And this is a great time. We've got September 11th tomorrow. We've got a power day. We've got September 11th. We also have a new moon. So it's one of those amplify. That's like recharging, plugging all of those things in. What do you want to bring into your world? What do you want to bring in? What's coming up for you? So it's one of those. Oh, someone else can't see me. That is not a good thing. I'm gonna have to check with my computer geek, which is my husband, because I am not technical at all. And it's something on here. Did that change anything? Okay. Did that help or hurt? Y'all gotta let me know. So let me know if that one helped or hurt. It's one of those that was already on, but I adjusted it a little bit more and turned it off and turned it back on and see if that's something that can really help. I will be posting the video on YouTube in just a little bit, and I thank y'all so much. It's 10:20, so I'm so excited that y'all got to join me today. If you have any questions, I will be back next Monday from 10 to 10:20 Central Standard Time and be answering your questions. Meanwhile, you can go to my website and find out lots of information about me. You can find out what's coming up next. Okay, so it's going in and out. So I will have to check maybe my internet connection is a little bit slow in here, or maybe I need to put a booster in here. So if you have any questions, keep them until next week, and I will be back. And I so thank you. Thank you so much for joining me and asking me such amazing questions. I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope you're ready for some power days. Talk to you soon. Bye. I hope you too have an amazing day and have an amazing power week with this September 11th and the new moon that are powering us up right now. And I will be posting this in just a little bit. So hope you get a chance to look it over. And if you have any questions, make sure you join me next Monday for Facebook Live from 10 to 10:20. You have an amazing week. Talk to you soon.